year exact, but it's one of those years. But it was the beginning of the year, which was the winter part, February, when she died. And she never did get a chance to leave the South, but one thing she did, she loved us. You know, she cooked for us. I remember Mama used to cook pans of bread. She had a big pan and a small pan. Daddy had made a long table for us to sit at, you know. We had benches for the side, for the kids, with bench on each side, and they had chairs on the end. But we just, you know, just took life one day at a time. We couldn't do anything else. Yes, and I did eat a lot of time with my fingers. You know, we loved it, you know, not that we couldn't afford no spoons and forks and stuff like that, but we was family. And she cooked. I don't think nobody can beat her cooking. My wife may be second now, you know, but mama food, can't nobody touch it. See, that's the food we learned how to eat. See, what you cooked before us, and ain't nobody gonna never top that. You know, we shouldn't even try, you know, because that's something that God blessed her to do. But she used to work timelessly, you know, cooking, you know, get up a wooden stove. We didn't have no gas stove like that, electric. And myself, when I got old enough, we had to go out, and I guess the older ones did it too, the boys. And boys had chores to do, and the girls had chores to do. You know, that's what I liked about them too. She taught the girls how to be the young ladies, how to cook and stuff like that. And Daddy taught us how to be men. But Mama, you know, she was just something about her, you know. But God took her. You know, he saw fit to take her, you know, and I think the youngest one was about 11 months old when he took her, but I wish he could have left for about another 20 years, but I don't question him. I'm not angry about it.
She worked in the field too.
She worked in the field. Sometimes she worked until she had the baby. Wow. She didn't have time to rest. I've seen them with their legs swollen up like balloons, but they would work. Cotton sack, they would work. They had to work. They had to help out.
Mom went from 6 in the morning to 11.
Go home.
And then
Yeah.
Mom would cook the beans, Mama did.
Yeah.
And then you get a minute for 12 o'clock, truck come back, bring
Yeah.
and the children just go home and cook food.
So he was the only one that actually shot food at night in the woods?
Well, I guess the older one may have hunted before, but I wasn't big enough, old enough to know. Lee and Willie is the only one I can recollect ever being at home. And Willie, I can remember him vaguely. Lee is the one, in other words, my big brother. Because he was the older one that went, you know, until he left, you know. I think Lee was about 17, 18 when he left. And I hate to see that too, you know, because I think about 4 years younger than he is. So, you know, the difference between us. So he was their big brother, you know. But Joe, I heard Joe did some hunting, but I don't know. I wasn't even born, you know. I was about 4 years old, I think, when Henry left, and maybe 6 or 7 when Nip and Joe left. But I can remember him. We slept together, him and Larry and him, me and him and Larry. Then after he left, Larry, Wendell, and me. I think Lee, me, and Willie slept together for a while too.
How many bedrooms did y'all have?
We only had 1, 2, 3, actually 4 rooms in the house and a kitchen. Dad and Mama had one. I think our room was right behind Dad and Mama's, and then Belle, the older girl, and then the second room, there was 2 rooms on the east side of the house and 2 rooms on the north side, kitchen, you know, 4 bedrooms. And it was always full.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm talking about them snakes. I'm reminded of bleeding and
bit him. I remember that.